Okay guys, so once again we are back working on our Ego lawnmower, and if you've clicked on this video you know that once again we are chasing a broken wire problem. Now this is I think my 6th or maybe 7th season with this mower, and overall been super happy with it, but as is in the past and as with so many others out there, I'm having wiring harness issues. Now one of the coolest things about this mower is how you can fold it up and store it, which is why I bought it, and I still do it to this day, even though it's still causing me problems. But a couple of years ago, had a broken wire here at this main hinge from repeatedly folding the handle. And so I got in there, soldered in about a 3-inch piece of patch wire, and I haven't had a problem since. Now last year, I had a problem with this union area, and it was a stretched wire from repeatedly pulling in and out of sliding the main handle set for storage again. And the problem I was having there was that the speed control wasn't working. So it was either full speed or it was off. And full speed's just way too fast for me to mow. I mow on all the way on low. So I once again pulled out the bad wire, patched in about a 3-inch piece of wire there and fixed it. Haven't had a problem. Now we have a new problem, and it is that when I squeeze the trigger to make the wheels turn, it's either working or it's not working. The speed control works fine, but it's just intermittently going in and out. And I figure it's probably another wiring issue, because when I'm mowing and it cuts out, I can wiggle the handle or wiggle this wiring loom and it kicks in and out, which tells me it's probably, again, another crimped or stretched or broken wire that's giving me fits. So today, we're going to dive into probably this union again, check on the wiring in there, figure out which wire is bad, and most likely patch in a 3 or 4-inch piece of repair wire, and hopefully get her back on the roll, because once again, I need to mow my lawn. Okay, so let me see if I can maybe recreate the issue that I'm having with the intermittent wheel turning problem. So if I squeeze the trigger to make the wheels turn, I have it up on jacks, it should be turning. I got nothing, and generally I could wiggle this, nothing, or I could reach down and grab this wire loom and wiggle it and get it to go, and I got nothing now. It was intermittent. Now it's just broke. But you know what? That's actually a good thing, because intermittent wiring problems can sometimes be a hassle to trace. Broken wire problems, much easier. So yeah, it looks like we are out of commission. Okay, so here's a little closer look at what's going on here in this area. You know what, I think I kind of already see the issue. This wire loom has severed, and part of it is stuck in the place where it's supposed to be, and the rest of it's just kind of hanging out here. The purpose of this wire loom is to keep the wires from crimping. When you bend down this handle set, it's supposed to keep it nice and straight so it can't take a hard turn, and it's just dangling, allowing the wires to make a greater than 90-degree turn here. So I'm sure that's a point in the right direction here. And so you can see these wires that have the fuzzy tape on them, those are soldered wires from my previous repair when I was trying to get the speed control fixed. So, oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Hello, Mr. Broken Wire. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get you in a little closer here. The red wire right here. Look at that. She's holding on by sheathing, completely severed, and I still don't have any juice to my wheels. Yeah, you see that? It popped when I had the handle in and I touched them together. So that's definitely the issue, at least one of them, but most likely that's the only problem that we're having. So that is great. I could probably, pull the battery. If I was in a pinch, I could just cut enough of this off of each side, splice it together and tape it, and I could be back on the road working. But what I want to do is go ahead and take this apart and see if I can't get a little better long-term repair put on this. So that looks like our problem. Let's dig in and get her fixed up. Okay, so I've got the battery pulled out of the machine and a clamp on the handle on the other side to keep it in this position. And now I just think what we need to do is take, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws out of this handle set and kind of see what is going on inside. Okay, and it looks like these screws are all the same as each other, so that makes that easy. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Is this going to just pop apart for me? She's trying. Oh, I've got one more hidden screw. That'll do it. That flew away. I'll have to find that later. Okay, now maybe it'll come apart. There we go. Just like that. Looks pretty good. Okay, cool. Now what are we looking at here? Right away you can see switches. This little switch right here, that's going to be a safety switch, so we can tell when the machine is open and closed, so the blade won't turn when it's all the way down, and that's going to be told by that guy right there. And so what I can do is pop out. Okay, and you have that little spring I just popped out. That's going to interact with that safety switch. Let me save that to side. And we are left with access to the wiring. There we go. Now the bottom casing comes off. Easy. And now we can take a look at what we're dealing with here. Where's that broken red wire at? Right there. Okay, so if I can get this wire loom pulled up enough to get access to this, then I can try to put a little patch job on that wire right there. Okay, so I think I'm all set up here to do this little micro repair. What I've got is I've just kind of got this kind of jig set up here to get this wire set up elevated and separated out of the way so I can get access to these red wires. And now, when I was messing with it, this just decided to completely finish breaking apart. It was just held on by the sheathing a little bit. So what I've done is I have trimmed back a little bit of the sheathing on this existing wire and splayed the wires out on each side. And I'm going to attempt to put just like a 1-inch little splice in that looks like this, and see if we can't patch this bad boy together. So I'll attach one side, pinch, I'm going to get them to overlap like that, and then one side at a time, twist it. So it makes a nice firm connection that's nice and flat, so you don't end up with a big bulb coming out. And the other side, just kind of straighten these little splays out. Same thing with the other side. Give it your best hope at a good connection here. Overlap them, flatten them. Like that. Hold one side and start twisting. This is a really small repair, but should work. Twist those all nice and flat, pinch them down, and hopefully we end up with a pretty good looking little patch. That should ought to do it. And I also have put in here a piece of heat shrink tubing that once this is soldered I can cover with. So that's that. Let me get a little bit of flux put on these joints on the top. Just a little bit. I got way too much. A little bit of flux on that one, a little bit of flux on that one, and that will just help the solder flow through the joint. Sometimes no matter how hard you try, the solder doesn't want to flow. I'll take my iron and I will heat up the bottom of these until that flux wants to flow. And you can see it just disappear. Okay? That's good. Now, I'll take these one at a time and heat them up from the bottom and try to get them to receive solder. I'll take a minute and blow that flux away. It doesn't taste good. Heat this up until it wants to receive solder. Okay, there's one. And two. Okay. Okay, so I think that's cooled down enough for me to play with again. So the next thing we need to do, now that we've got a nice solid repair, is get the heat shrink that I have put on already, slid up, and it's just big enough, looks like, so I should be able to just kind of roll it nice and easy over the top of the joint. It is just barely the right size, but it does look like it's going. Nice. Just long enough to cover all these too. Looks like I got it. I will go ahead and just stick a little bit of tape over it too, just to be sure. Let me heat shrink that. Okay, very, very good. Just to make sure, let's see if I can grab a little bit of tape. Okay, I got a little bit of wire looming tape here, and we'll just make sure that this is going to be happy. Good. And that is fixed. So, as far as I can figure until this repair is complete, I just need to figure out the puzzle that is putting all of this back together again. So let me figure all that out and then we will rejoin. Okay, so I got this all back together again. Okay, now I'm not going to lie and tell you a story about how easy it was to put together, because it's not. If you guys have ever been into one of these, you know it's a bit of a puzzle. But let me give you a few pro tips here to maybe help you guys along the way if you do get it taken apart and it blows apart and you don't remember how it goes. First of all, as you saw in the picture that I showed, I put the bottom plastic part on down here, and then I put a zip tie around it, around the frame, to hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. That's one less set of hands that you need. Next, the main order you have to do this in is get your wires routed first. There's only one way they can go. It's pretty obvious. There's an inlet and an outlet. The top wires come in the far side, and then they sneak around and they go out the near side. And they've got to get pushed down and tuck underneath all the way down, because the safety switch that sits in here has to sit on top of the wires. That's the only way it'll go. Can't make it work any other way. So get your wires routed, push down into here, then sit your safety switch in, and then get your little spring guy in. The spring goes into the little slot, and it comes down into a little pivot, so that when the arm comes down, it pushes it out and it engages the safety switch. So that's the order you put them in, and that's the only way it's going to work. So as far as I can tell, we are good. We are back all put together again, and I think it should be good to go. Let me get it off the stand and rearrange, and we will give it a test and see if it's up and running. Okay guys, moment of truth. See if our little 1-inch splice worked out. So let me stick the battery back in it. Have the back end jacked up so we can spin it. I'll unhook the sliders, lift up the handle, clip it. Here we go. On. Yeah. Off, on, off, on. We'll do speed. Slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. We on, off. We got it. Yes. Another one done. Well, I guess I can go mow my yard now. Well, I hope you guys don't ever have this trouble and problems with your Ego mower, but if you do, hopefully this one helps. So good luck to you. See you next time.